simple random sample of size n is chosen in such a way that every group of n individuals in the population has an equal chance to be selected as the sample. To start a simple random sample in this activity, we will have to randomize these cards. I have 12 cards, and the probability of me selecting this card is 1 out of 12. The probability of me selecting this card is 1 out of 12. And the probability of me selecting this card is also 1 out of 12. The probability of me selecting this card is 1 out of 12, and the probability of me selecting this card is also 1 out of 12. The probability of me selecting this card is 1 out of 12. But since we already chose this card, we would have to ignore the repeat. For this sample, we would have to select 3 distinct cards, which would be a sample size of 3. The order in which I select them does not matter. I'm going to randomize my cards once again and select a new simple random sample. The probability of me selecting this card is 1 out of 12, 1 out of 12, and 1 out of 12. The combination of these cards. Oh, notice that I have 2 kings, and of course SRS, any possible combination is possible. The probability of me selecting these 3 cards is 1 out of 220. When there are 12 cards selected 3 at a time, there are 220 possible combinations. I want to select 3 cards at random, like this. This selection of cards is one of the possible combinations of the 220. A stratified random sample classifies the population into groups of small individuals called strata. Then choose a separate SRS in each stratum and combine those SRSs to form a sample. To get a stratified sample, we will start by classifying the population into groups called strata. My strata are the jacks, the kings, and the queens. They're similar within because of the letter, and different between, again, because of the letter. In a simple random sample, the probability of me choosing this combination of these 3 cards is 1 out of 220. However, in a stratified sample, the probability would be 1 out of 64. In a simple random sample, the probability of me choosing these 3 cards is 1 out of 220. However, it would be impossible to choose these in a stratified random sample, since they are from the same strata, and we would need 1 from each strata. Then I'll choose a separate simple random sample in each stratum and combine the SRSs to form the sample. From the jacks, I'll select at random a card. The probability of me selecting this card is 1 out of 4. I'll select one from both of the remaining strata. And the combination, the probability of selecting this combination is 1 out of 64. To find out how we got the 64 for the most amount of combinations that could be got is by selecting one from this, one from the queen, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's 4 possible for these. I'll select another queen and do it once again.
5,
6, 7, and 8. Then after I'll select third queen, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I'll select the final queen, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And that would just be for this king. Each king has 16 possible combinations, and we'd have to add them all to get 64, which would be as many possible combinations. The similarities between these 2 sampling methods are the 64 possible combinations, because within the 220 possible combinations of a simple random sample, 64 of the possible stratified samples exist in the 220. Also the population, which was 12 cards, and the sample size of 3.